There's nothing quite like taking a vacation on a sun-drenched island with endless beaches to explore. The problem, though, is that you're often forced to share these experiences with other tourists who are doing the same thing, so it hardly becomes an isolated island paradise. If you can afford it, however, you can instead take your break somewhere far less busy. So pack your sunscreen and don't forget your snorkeling gear as we take a look at 15 incredible island paradises around the world. Number 15. Laucala Island. Once belonging to Malcolm Forbes, but now owned by Dietrich Mateschitz, one of the brains behind Red Bull, Laucala Island is a small island to the east of Taveuni, one of the main islands of Fiji. Covering an area of just 4.5 square miles, it's just over 3 miles long and between 1 and 2 miles wide. Apparently selling for $7 million in 2003, the Red Bull visionary has now turned this paradise into an exclusive getaway called the Laucala Island Resort, and it's simply stunning. Featuring 25 villas, each of which has its own pool, elegant decor, and more facilities than most people's homes, the resort also offers 5 bars and restaurants, an 18-hole golf course, and countless walking and cycling trails. The only way to access the island is by private jet to its small airfield or by a private boat charter. And once you're there, you'll hardly see another soul, since the only people on the island are those that are staying at the resort. It's almost completely self-sufficient too, with its own organic farm, meaning that while you're on Laucala Island, you're as detached from the wider world as it's possible to be while staying in the utmost of luxury. Number 14. Pamalican Island. Located in the Sulu Sea, which is between the islands of Palawan and Panay in the Philippine province of Palawan, Pamalican Island is just 1.6 miles long and only 1,600 feet wide at its widest point, but it's sat atop a 2.7 square mile region of pristine coral reef. Originally owned and run as a plantation, a businessman and his family realized that it had far more potential as a luxurious island retreat, so began to work to build an exclusive resort there, which is called Amanpulo. The only way to reach the resort is by private charter jet from the international airport in Manila. And once you're there, you'll never want to leave. Each of the villas has its own private swimming pools, outdoor lounges, kitchens, and dining pavilions. And families that stay there get their own personal housekeeper and chef, meaning that at no point do you have to mingle with other guests. Of course, as such a small piece of land, there's very little to do other than relaxing on the pristine beaches in the sun. But for those looking for something a little more exciting, the reef offers some of the best diving sites, untarnished by human activity, that you'll find anywhere in the world. Number 13. Vela Island. Nonu Atoll is a group of 71 islands that are part of the Maldives, and while there are just over 10,000 residents across them all, one of the most isolated and amazing ones is called the Vela Island. While the country has a number of islands in private ownership, very few of them are owned by just one person. But that's the case with Vela, which has been transformed by Jiri Smedjic into the perfect retreat for people that consider privacy to be one of the most important factors. Its name means Turtle Island in a local dialect, as it's a place where every year a large number of turtles return to lay their eggs. And this theme continues throughout the resort, with turtle motifs and emblems everywhere you look. The villas, which are built over the water, are meant to represent the head of a turtle, with the island making up the body. And there's a conservation program to ensure the presence of tourists doesn't affect the natural wildlife. In total, there are 43 private villas, but one in particular, called the Romantic Room, is the best on offer. Designed for romantic getaways, the only way to get to the villa is by boat, so there's no chance of you being accidentally disturbed. Number 12. Como Parrot Cay. The Turks and the Caicos Islands have become increasingly popular for tourists in the past few decades, but that doesn't mean it's lacking in private island paradises too. Parrot Cay was purchased by the Como Group in 1998, which saw a 1,000-acre island turned into an exclusive retreat without fear of prying eyes. It's an ideal location to attract tourists, being just 575 miles to the southeast of Miami. But it doesn't have its own airport, and instead you need to access the resort by a half-hour boat ride from the main island of the Turks and Caicos, Providenciales. Today there are 61 rooms on the island, which was once called Pirate Cay, because it was where several notorious buccaneers supposedly have their base of operations. And there's also a series of private villas and beach houses that are owned by famous celebrities such as Bruce Willis and Keith Richards. There's an incredible infinity pool to relax in, as well as a fully resourced spa. But the main attraction is the mile-long private beach and the incredible diving sites that can be found just off the coast. The seclusion and exclusivity of Parrot Cay means that it regularly has celebrity visitors, with notable recent guests including Barbra Streisand, Justin Timberlake, and Paul McCartney. It's so popular as a retreat that it was even the site of the wedding between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner in 2005, and likely many more who chose it for its beauty to avoid the cameras. Number 11. Bawa Reserve. For a long time, very few people knew there was a small chain of islands that lay in the ocean between Malaysia and Borneo. But their remoteness made them the ideal location for one of the most private island paradises in the world, called the Bawa Reserve, and actually covers 5 of these small outcrops, all of which are covered in lush forest and have 3 azure blue sheltered lagoons and 13 pristine beaches between them. This is designed to be an eco-resort, so every effort has been made to preserve the natural environment. The 35 villas have been built either over the water or on a beach and are all made from locally sourced materials. In the restaurant, the ingredients for everything on the menu has been grown nearby, and the islands are surrounded by one of the largest marine reserves in the region. This means that as well as gorgeous beaches and jungle trails, there's so much to explore in the water too. Despite being on vacation, you'll always be left with the sense that you need to return because there's never enough time to see everything that's on offer. Yes, it's luxury, but it's also proof that this can be done in an eco-friendly way, although you will, of course, have to pay a huge amount for this privilege. Number 10. Voava Island. If you've always wanted to visit the Maldives and can afford a rate of $40,000 per night, then Voava Island could be just what you're looking for. It's in the Ba Atoll UNESCO Biosphere Reserve and was for a long time used as a picnic spot for guests of resorts on other islands. But this all changed with the construction of the 4 Seasons on the island. This, though, is not a 4 Seasons like you might expect, because the 5-acre island has just 3 villas on it, and they're all included in the price. You truly get this entire island to yourself, with palm trees in every direction, all types of water sports you can imagine, pristine beaches, and a use of a 62-foot yacht. The island has 28 full-time staff members to be on hand and cater to guests' every request. And with a maximum occupancy of 22 people, the initial huge price works out to be just over $1,800 per person per night if you have enough friends to join you. With complete privacy, a number of dive sites that are yet to be explored, 2 infinity